As you watch this video, pause whenever you need to, pause whenever I ask you to do a U-try, and start playing again when you're ready. Our goal today is going to be to solve one variable equations using inverses. We've spent a lot of time over the past few days identifying steps and inverse steps, and now we're going to use those to solve equations. So we had to write out a lot of the words before in our steps and our inverse steps, and I'm going to allow you to use some abbreviations now. So again, this is just in the steps and the inverse steps section, but for add, we're going to use plus. For subtract, we're going to use minus. For multiply, I'm going to use the multiply dot. If you would rather write parentheses or the time symbol, you can. I just think that gets confused with X. And then we're going to use the division bar for divide. Okay, so again, we're going to use this symbol for divide in our steps and our inverse steps, but we're going to use the symbols that we've been using for the past couple days on our equation. So for our first example, our instructions when we're solving equations will generally just say solve. And what that means is we want to find out what value of x makes this equation true. So best practices, I'm going to draw a line through my equal sign. That is breaking my equation into two sides, the left side and the right side. And what I want to do is I want to identify the operations that are happening on the side with the variable. So here, using our abbreviations, we start with x, we multiply by 2, and then we subtract 1. Okay, so start with x, multiply by 2, subtract 1. So our inverse steps, these need to go in reverse order, 3, 2, 1. The inverse of starting with x will be ending with x. We're just abbreviating. The inverse of multiplying by 2 will be dividing by 2. And the inverse of subtracting 1 will be adding 1. If these abbreviations do not work for you, go back to writing out the words. So one thing we have to remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you always have to do to the other side of the equation to keep it balanced, to keep it true. But now we're just going to follow our inverse steps. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add 1 to both sides. I'm going to put that plus 1 under my negative 1, since those are like terms. And since I did plus 1 on the left side, I also need to do that on the right side. Then I'm going to draw an equal bar. Minus 1 plus 1 goes to 0. So all I'm left with on the left side is 2x. And 7 plus 1 is equal to 8. And we still have our equal sign. At any point, if you need to use a calculator, you are using a calculator. So we finished step 1 of our inverse steps, and now we're moving on to step 2 of our inverse steps. So to do our step 2, it says to divide by 2. So again, whatever we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So we're dividing on the left, we're dividing on the right, and we're dividing both of those by 2. Here are 2x over 2. Those are going to divide out. We're left with x on the left, and 8 divided by 2, again using a calculator if you need it, is 4. So now we've solved this equation. We have x isolated by itself on the left, and we have a number on the right, 4. To check this, we are going to substitute into the original equation. So the original equation is 2, I'm putting parentheses wherever my variable was, minus 1 equals 7. And the value that I want to put in the parentheses is this value that I just found, the 4. So again, you can put this into the calculator, but 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. We get 7 equals 7, which is true. So we know that our answer is correct. So at this point, if you could pause the video and try the You Try on your own. When you're done trying on your own, unpause the video and check your answer. So I got an answer of x equals 6. If you got the answer x equals 6, you can stop this video now and move on to the next example. If you did not get x equals 6, I'll just explain what I did. So our steps here on the side that has the variable, we started with x, we multiplied by 5, we added 1. So our inverse steps were end with x, divide by 5, and subtract 1. So I subtracted 1 from both sides. I got 5x equals 30. Then I divided both sides by 5. I got x equals 6. And to check this answer, 5, I put parentheses where the variable x was, put 6 in, plus 1 equals 31. That's copying the original equation. Simplifying 5 times 6 was 30, plus 1 was 31. Since this made the equation true, I know I had the right solution. So if that wasn't clear to you, ask around with your peers, with your classmates, see if they can help explain to you. If not, we can discuss in class tomorrow. So please move on to the video for example number 2.